This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm in Liverpool and I'm joined by Dave Coldwell and Natasha Jonas, Michaela Mayer weighing. Dave, firstly, Happy New Year. How are you?
Happy New Year. I didn't realise that was still a thing. What day?
When's the right cut-off point? When is the right cut-off point?
A week, 10 days? 90 days you're into, is it?
I am slightly over that then, Dave, but yeah, here we are. How are you doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm really good, thanks. Happy to be up in Liverpool. Not been up here for a while. Got some good memories of Liverpool, so yeah, it's always good to make the trip up here.
Obviously, just before we come on to this card, how's everybody in the gym looking?
Good. I'm excited for 2024. Got some very good young talent in the gym. Some big fights going to be coming up. A great year of progression for others. Stephen Cairns, we've got a big announcement to be made with him coming up very, very soon. I'm excited for his 2024 as well. Very, very good kid. Great on his socials, his content, but more importantly, the kid can fight.
You have obviously quite a young stable and a lot of fighters who are still making their way through the ranks. By the end of the year, what level would you say you'd like people to be at and looking at?
It's always about progression. I mean, Hopi now is next in line for the British title. So obviously you want to get that, and then I mean we was hoping more at the end of the end of 2024 he'd start being the big fights, and that's what we'd like. Unfortunately, he did pick up a hand injury in his last fight, and that's delayed things. So we're just sorting that out and seeing how long a layoff that's going to be. Stephen Cairns, he's 7-0, so this time next year you want him to be banging on the door of titles then, of banging on the door of a British title maybe. So yeah, I like to depends on whereabouts they are. Dan's Howard now, he's only had 2 fights. It's about activity, progression, learning and development, and then the next year is his push on year as well.
Dave, away from your gym, obviously we're here in Liverpool for Natasha Jonas versus Michaela Mayer. What are your thoughts on that main event?
Cracking main event, really, really good fight. Great advert for the sport. I think Natasha, she's coming into her own now. You look at her, I think the earlier losses in her career and upsets have made her as a fighter. I don't know if it's taken the pressure off. I don't know if she's enjoying the sport more now. But she seems to be far more relaxed when she's in the ring and just letting things flow. Obviously, the relationship with Joe Gallagher has been so instrumental in that. He gets the best out of her, and I think with some fighters, they get into their 30s towards the end of the career, and everything just clicks. And in Michaela Mayer, she's a big star of the women's game. It's crunch time for her. This is where it's her window to get back in.
Just away from that main event, and just touch on a few other topics, Dave, just before you go live with Sky. Ryder Munguia, next weekend, your thoughts?
And that's crept up really, really quickly. I can't believe it's next weekend. Really good fight. Listen, John Ryder, I think he's another one that's just grown as, the harder the fights, the setbacks or whatever, he's grown as a fighter. The experience made him a better fighter. Munguia's very, very good, heavy-handed, exciting, but he's beatable. He looks beatable. He makes a lot of faults. I don't know. It's a tough fight. But the Ryder, I hope that the Canelo fight didn't take a lot out of Ryder, because he took a lot of punishment in that. If it didn't take a lot out of him, then I think he's got a great chance of pulling off the upset.
Dave, it seems to be those in power in Saudi Arabia are able to get anything done. A five-man versus five-man Frank Warren Eddie Hearn card.
Absolutely love it. He put it on the toes, didn't he? Put it on the toes. There's no room for bullshit now. You got to follow that through. I can't wait. And do you know what? I hope it's not just a one-off. I hope it's a regular occurrence. Maybe not all the time, but it'd be nice if it was a yearly thing. Like the Matchroom in the Garden, a yearly event. Monaco was a yearly event sort of thing. If this is a yearly event, it'd be fantastic. So I'm excited, intrigued to know what five-a-side game it's going to be. Who's going to be the participants? But it'd be nice if it'd be a mixture of the big fights, and it'd be nice to be a mixture of the prospects and British and European title fights. I'd like to see across the board, not just at top end.
Other than say the obvious of like a Fury Joshua or a Yard, Callum Smith's been mentioned, who would come to mind for you if you were to match up one from each stable? You're on the spot, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, an obvious one from my point of view, obviously, it's been made by the board, is Opie Price against Nathaniel Collins. I mean, that from our point of view, that wouldn't be bad. I know Opie mentioned that. No, it's difficult to say on the spot. Callum Smith against a yard. If Callum chooses to carry on, Callum Smith against a yard.
A few people mentioned Dalton Smith and Pierce O'Leary.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah, definitely. Who else have they got? Who else is? Off the top of my head, it's like, do you know when you hear it, it's like, oh yeah, brilliant. But then you've got to actually think about which ones, and if you wanted to go through the levels, then it's a bit more.
You'll be called by Johnny in a couple of minutes' time. Just to wrap this up, though, it's your time to start shortly, Dave. Fury-Usyk, though, what are your thoughts on that fight, Dave?
I can't wait. I know Fury's got locked himself away and he's going to be a different version to what we saw last time. The question is, how much did the Wilder fights and Ngannou fight take out of him? You know, is he getting to that stage of his career? I don't know, but I know he's locked away and he's working hard. I'm excited for it. I can't wait.
Joshua Ngannou.
Can't wait for that one. I actually fancy going across to that one because that's just. I think it's the range of Ngannou's reach will give AJ more problems than what we might think, you know. And the fact that he's patient as well. It's a good fight. Listen, I fancy AJ to beat him, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ngannou did a job.
Fight, which I think a lot of people in the boxing. No, one more, I'm going to squeeze. Parker Zhang.
Great fight, really good fight. Joseph Parker.